So, hiya. Um, I don't want to take a lot of time on this topic because it's something that I'm gonna speak a lot about. This is just one particular time that I want to begin to dive into this and unpack it. And the reason why this is important is because it feels like a foundational part. Hey, Coletta. It feels like a foundational part of the message of Laylim Layla, of my spiritual practice, like how it evolves and how it grows inside of me. And so I like to revisit stories that resonated with me when I was in a different space in my consciousness and look at them now because those stories still have value, they still have merit, they still have power. And so I was reading about the crucifixion of Jesus. Like I was having a conversation last night. I was talking with, someone very close to me last night, and as we were talking about um calling each other in, like when someone is holding you accountable, or when someone is um informing you that you've done something that hurt them, or you've done something to cause them trauma or put them in their feelings, like when that type of exchange is happening between you and a loved one. um Growing up, we used to hear about, turn the other cheek, and we used to hear about forgiving, and not, staying in that resentment, and just, forgiving and turning the other cheek. And so in a video previously to this one, I told y'all what Christ did mean for me. We talked about what Christ did mean. And Christ wasn't a specific person because there has been a lot of beings who have been Christed throughout time. For example, in the Catholic faith, when you make someone a saint, that is to Christ them. That's why you can pray to saints. So Jesus was not the only Christed one. There are many who have been Christed to arrive at this level of awareness or this level of consciousness where you are not being ruled by your flesh, but you're maneuvering in the spirit. And many of us think of maneuvering in the spirit as being on this frequency where you are just humble and sweet and kind and peaceful, but there's all different kinds of spirits. There's many different aspects of the spirit, a man, a woman. And so the spirit is not just, you know when I think of the spirit, I think of love. And what the Bible taught us about the love is that love can be a lot of things. It says love is not puffed up, but hmm, if God is love, and God can be wrathful, and God can be vengeful, and God can be a jealous God, then it sounds like love can be puffed up. So there are certain things about the word that are hypocritical. And I'm not against being hypocritical because I think that love within itself is hypocrisy. I might be against a whole lot of stuff. I might not stand for a whole lot of things. But if you're doing them to someone that I love, I may become a hypocrite. I may say, it's not right to steal. It's not right to cheat. It's not right to lie. But if you're about to harm someone I love because they did those things, I may become a hypocrite. So, love within itself creates a bit of hypocrisy. You could, when you love something or when you love somebody, you'll go against a lot of times the things that you believe in because you love that person. You know, love, they say love makes us do crazy things or love makes us do foolish things. But I think love causes us to have more capacity, whereas we wouldn't have had this type of patience for ourselves, but because we feel this way about this other person or this other being, which is just a reflection or another aspect of ourselves, it's caused us to expand our ideas and to know how to give grace. You know what I'm saying? How to give grace to things that maybe we would not have given grace to initially. So love calls for grace. And grace can often look like hypocrisy. That's deep. But that's not what I made this video to talk about. Um, I made this video to talk about the crucifixion. And so I was reading in John 19, and I'm reading from a Bible that I got from my auntie when she passed. Um, and I was reading about the crucifixion of Jesus. Now, when I look up the word crucifixion, there's the formal definition of crucifixion or crucify, and then there's the informal definition of crucify. So, crucify formally means to put someone to death by nailing or binding them to a cross, especially as an ancient punishment. Two thieves were crucified with Jesus. The informal definition of of crucify means to criticize someone severely and unrelentingly. Our fans would crucify us if we lost. Now I'm reading from John um John, I guess it's the 19th chapter. Wait, hold on. Yeah. It's John 18, John 19. Okay, John the 19th chapter. Um and I'm gonna start from maybe the John 19 and 10. So it says, Then Pilate said unto him, Speakest thou not unto me? Knoweth that knowest thou not that I have the power to crucify thee? I have the power to release thee. Jesus answered, Thou couldst have no power at all against me, except if it were given thee from above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. And from henceforth, Pilate sought to release him, because Pilate didn't want to tangle with that. But Jesus cried out, saying, the Jews cried out, saying, If thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever maketh him a king speaketh against Caesar. When Pilate when Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought Jesus forth and in sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement. Pavement. But in the Hebrew, Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour, he said unto the Jews, Behold your king. But they cried out, Away with him, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto them, Shall I crucify your king? The chief priest answered, We have no king but Caesar. Now, I find that very interesting because the Jews were saying, We have no king but Caesar. So the Jews was basically giving, we're sheep. We cool with colonization. We cool with white supremacy. We cool. We not trying to decolonize. Whatever Jesus is preaching, we good with what we got. We good with the way things is. Get him away from here. He messing up the thing. We trying to assimilate. We doing this Caesar thing. We here for colonization. We here for y'all conquering the world and building the empire. We are your willing sheep. Yes, let's get it done. Whatever, this Christed one, this Jesus guy is talking about, we're not with that. Crucify him. We don't stand for that. We stand for what Caesar doing. We here for that. That's what we're here for. Now, of course, Jesus ended up being crucified. Now we know that there are people, because when they say Jesus was the king of the Jews, I'm using this terminology, all skin folk and kinfolk, because Jews are recognized as a sort of like a nationality based on the religion, which I find very interesting. I'm not hating, because I want Laylim Layler to be recognized like that. It's not skin complexion like it is with every other, like it is with the rest of us. But with the Jews, is your nationality is acknowledged based on your faith, based on your religious practices. So the Jews was all you can't really technically say all skin folk and kinfolk, so you have to say all faith folk ain't related folk. So all faith folk ain't related folk. Like you're not all connected just because you allegedly believe in the same things. So it's always going to be people that claim to be related to you, whether it's by direct ancestry or whether it's by spirituality and faith. It's going to be people that claim a connection with you, but they don't really mess with you. They're not really cool with you. Like, they just claiming this because this is an opportunity for them to thrive. Like, this is a very interesting, like, the Bible speaks on a very interesting period of with the Jews. I'm not gonna get too much into that right now. I'm gonna save this for like my Easter stories, like as we get closer to Christmas, because this like a lot to break down. But the purpose for me making this video was to speak on crucifixion, and not in the formal way, but in the informal way. And I feel like they're related in a sense of, I'm not going to the cross by myself. You know, um, I have no desire to be martyred for people who claim that they say they love me, or people who claim loyalty, or people who claim to support me. If we family, if we community, if we, siblings, if we're part of the same tribe, and you think that I'm about to be crucified alone, you got it all wrong. You know, a lot of times, because of the walk that I'm on, you know, um, as a person who is trying to grow spiritually, as a person who, wants to be a guide, as a person who wants to be a teacher, and even before I knew that, just the way that I carry myself and the way that I have maneuvered in life, people have, put me up on this pedestal, um, of I should carry myself a certain way, or having certain expectations for me. And for a long time, because I was still stuck in this mindset of Jesus, of turning the other cheek, of, thinking that I had that my example of being Christed, or my relationship to my faith and my spirituality, had to model this Christed being's example to the letter. and it doesn't. You know, I think all the stories that we experience, all the stories that we witness, are for us to learn from. We this is our opportunity to learn from the example of other ancestors who come before us, whether they were Christed or not, whether they walked in their full sovereignty and their authenticity or not. It's still an opportunity for us to learn from their examples. And what I learned from the example of this version of Christ is that I'm not going to be nailed to the cross by myself. I'm not going to be crucified by myself. Um, a lot of times people get to certain stations and places in life and they feel like they have authority to do what they will with you. When we going back to this story where Pilate said, um, when Pilate said, um, then saith Pilate unto him, Speakest now, speakest thou not unto me? Knowest thou not that I have the power to crucify thee, and I have the power to release thee? And and Jesus responded and said, You have no power at all against me, except if it were given from thee above. Therefore, he that delivered me unto thee hath the greater sin. And so, even though Jesus was physically set free from his body, even though Jesus was physically set free from his vessel, Jesus let Pilate know, you don't have the power to punish me, to torture me. This is something that I accept. I accept what's happening, because at the end of the day, this how this gonna look on you. Now, Jesus did, call Pilate in, and I think Pilate felt away because Pilate understood what he was saying when he called him in. Jesus didn't just accept what Pilate said and was like, you right, you got the power. I accept what you say. I accept your decree. I got to go along with it. Jesus was like, yeah, but you still got the greatest sin. You still got to live with what you're doing to me. Now, with me, I'm going to take it another step further, because Jesus was gracious. Jesus was gracious. Jesus didn't give too much. But if you try to exalt yourself over me and think that you're better than me, or you're more than me, because of your station on this plane, on this dimension, and you think that you have more authority, more power, that you're more righteous, or somehow you're more worthy, or somehow your moral ground is more solidified, like somehow you are superior to me because of how this reality sees you and the place that you hold in this reality. You might free me from my body. You might get away with that. You might free me from my body if you are willing to go that far just to prove your point. But please understand that before my soul leaves my body and after my soul leaves my body, your crucifixion will continue. Cause I'm not that Jesus. I'm not that Christ. Yeah, I'm not that version of Christ. I'm the version of Christ where we gonna all be crucified together. We all gonna have to eat that one. We all gonna have to. So like that's what, and I don't expect anything less from people who are surrounding me. I don't care how much work that I do to grow, how much work that I do to get to a certain level in my consciousness. If there are things that I need to work on and you see that in me, and you come from a place of love and respect, because I'm always try to lead with grace. You know, I'm not just gonna come at you sideways. I'm not just gonna come at you talking out the side of my neck. But when you call me in again, there is, if I've been seeing some things in you that perhaps you need to work on, or some things you need to straighten up, please understand that you're gonna get that. And so I don't mind being held accountable. I don't mind you calling me in. I don't mind you speaking. But don't think that because society has placed you in a certain position or given you a certain station in life that somehow you're superior to me, and somehow I'm just supposed to, be the good little soldier, or be the good little private, or be the good little initiate, and just accept what's being said to me. No, this is an opportunity. Even from this low place that you think I'm sitting, I'm going to let you know what's going on. So we gonna get on that cross together. That's the moral of this video. Now I gotta go because I'm getting ready to go to the store with my cousin. But I had this candle already lit. We'll talk about this some more lately because this needs to be further unpacked. But we gonna share the cross. We gonna carry that cross together. Yeah, we gonna carry this together. We're gonna be true reflections and true mirrors of each other. Amen, a woman. So I love y'all. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later, and we'll unpack this more later. This candle represents our ancestors who've come, those who are here, and those who have went on. As we blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with intensity and purpose in the deep. Amen. A woman. Lelem leler.